Hello and welcome back to the USA Leaders. Movie buffs, get ready for a wild ride through the history of 20th Century Fox, the studio that's been breaking all the rules since 1935. This isn't your average, boring documentary. The studio that gave us some movies so epic such as Titanic or Avatar, yet so, well, sometimes not. But hey, do you remember that time they almost went bankrupt in the 70s? Like, whoa, what a plot twist. This studio's story is like a roller coaster, from near disaster to dominating the box office. So buckle up and get ready to dive deep into the crazy, zany, and totally unpredictable story of 20th Century Fox, the studio that's been breaking the fourth wall of Hollywood for nearly a century.
Fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls.
20th Century Fox, a match made in Hollywood. Spoiler alert, it wasn't some sappy love-at-first-sight story, but a strategic power move that rocked Hollywood to its core. In 1935, two industry heavyweights, Fox Film Corporation and 20th Century Pictures, decided to join forces, rebranding itself as 20th Century Fox. Think of it like Batman and Robin teaming up, but with snazzier suits and even bigger egos. With legends like William Fox and Darryl F. Zanuck at the helm, the studio started laying a rock-solid foundation. They focused on crafting compelling stories, discovering fresh talent, and pushing the filmmaking envelope. It was no walk in the park, but Fox's tenacity paid off big time. This dynamic duo quickly started cranking out hits like Steamboat Round the Bend, 1935, and Mr. Moto's Last Warning, 1939, cementing Fox's status as a heavyweight contender in Tinseltown. The golden age of glamour. There was a time when 20th Century Fox was the king of the hill. Their performance, Hollywood royalty, and movies that made jaws drop. This was the golden age when they were churning out hits faster than you can say box office gold. They had stars so bright they could blind you and movies that made you forget to breathe. We're talking classics like The Grapes of Wrath, a tearjerker that'll make even a stone cry. And let's not forget Alexander's Ragtime Band, a musical masterpiece that'll have you tapping your toes and humming along for days. But wait, there's more. It wasn't just about feel-good vibes. They also knew how to crank out action-packed adventures like Slave Ship, a swashbuckling epic that'll make you want to grab a sword. And for a dose of history with a side of drama, there was Young Mr. Lincoln, a biopic that makes you think. Fast forward a bit, and 20th Century Fox was still killing it. The Sound of Music had everyone singing along, even if they were tone deaf. And then came Planet of the Apes, a mind-bending sci-fi flick that blew everyone's socks off. And how can we miss out on the mother of all romantic films, Titanic, a movie so epic that it made us question our mortality while also making us want to fall in love. These movies weren't just entertainment, they were cultural phenomenons that changed the game. 20th Century Fox wasn't just lucky, they were geniuses. They knew how to make people laugh, cry, and cheer, all while raking in the dough. That's what we call a winning formula. From glory days to survival mode, 20th Century Fox wasn't always the shiny, happy studio we know and love. Believe it or not, there were times when things got a little rocky. Like really rocky. Imagine going from the top of the world to wondering if your next movie will even cover the popcorn budget. The studio faced some serious challenges. Competition was fierce, tastes were changing faster than a chameleon, and let's not forget those pesky economic downturns. It was like trying to juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle. But 20th Century Fox wasn't about to give up without a fight. They started merging with other studios, hoping to create a superpowered entity capable of taking on the world. This is where things get interesting. In a shocking twist, 20th Century Fox became 21st Century Fox in 2013. It was a strategic move by Rupert Murdoch, the media mogul who owned News Corporation, to consolidate his entertainment assets. This transformation wasn't cheap either. Murdoch shelled out a hefty sum of $325 million to acquire the remaining stakes of 20th Century Fox that he didn't already own. But here's the kicker, merging studios is like trying to combine oil and water. It's messy, it's complicated, and sometimes it just doesn't work. They went through a roller coaster of mergers, acquisitions, and breakups. It was like a never-ending game of musical chairs, but with way more money on the line. But fear not, true believers. They weren't going to let a few setbacks get them down. They adapted, they evolved, and they reinvented themselves time and again. From classic films to groundbreaking TV shows, they kept finding new ways to stay relevant. It wasn't always pretty, but it sure was entertaining. Mouse acquires Fox. It's time to have a look at the biggest Hollywood merger since, well, ever. Disney, the mouse house itself, decided to gobble up 21st Century Fox in a deal worth a whopping $71.3 billion. It was like a whale swallowing a goldfish, but with way more money involved. So say goodbye to 21st Century Fox and hello to 20th Century Studios, a fancy new name for an old friend. Now, you'd think being part of the Disney family would be all sunshine and rainbows, right? Wrong. After the honeymoon phase, things got a bit rocky. Fox, once a proud and independent studio, was now just another cog in the Disney machine. It was like going from being a rock star to being a backup dancer. Sure, they still had some hits, but it wasn't quite the same magic. It was like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Fox's style didn't always mesh with Disney's squeaky, clean image. And let's be honest, some of those Fox movies were rated R for a reason, so it was a bit of a culture clash. But hey, that's Hollywood for yay. A new chapter starts with a cancer teaming up adamantium claws. Even after all the mergers or acquisitions, the legacy lives on. And what better way to keep the spirit alive than with a movie with a gang up of the two badass dudes in comic book history for the ultimate smackdown.
Hi, Peanut.
It's like peanut butter and chocolate, but with way more explosions and one-liners. This new movie is more than just a film, it's a statement. It's a reminder of what made the 20th century special, taking risks, pushing boundaries, and giving fans what they want. It's like a shot of adrenaline straight to the heart of the superhero genre. Whether it's a box office smash or a cult classic, one thing's for sure, this movie will make waves. And who knows, maybe it's the start of a new era for Fox, or at least for Deadpool and Wolverine. And that's a pack-up. From steady starts to Hollywood royalty, near bankruptcy to a phoenix-like rise, this studio has seen it all. They've given us iconic characters, unforgettable stories, and moments that have become part of our cultural DNA. So, what do you think? Did we miss any mind-blowing facts or epic fails? Let us know in the comments. And hey, while you're at it, share your favorite movie or TV show. Let's reminisce about the good old days and celebrate the studio's legacy. Oh, and speaking of legacies, have you watched Deadpool and Wolverine? If yes, tell us your favorite scene or dialogue from it. LFG, guys. Thanks for watching.